Good evening, guys. James and Jacqueline from Mind and Body Detox in our kitchen this evening. I did a brief video yesterday saying if there's one video you watch of ours, this is the one to watch, whether that's for individuals or for parents. If you're a grandparent, if you've got godchildren, this is the video that we need to share with you. Before anyone thinks I get all high and mighty, anyone that's known me for years, I love the chocolate. I used to polish off 3 or 4 bars a day. Not so much now, it's a little bit different now, but I just want to share with you that that's what I used to do. What we're going to do, we're going to take you through some of the horrific images of sugar that's going to be in Easter eggs. The reason I've done this video, or we've done this video a couple of weeks beforehand, is that it gives you an opportunity to modify what you might be buying the children or the godparents, grandparents, whatever it might be.
On yourself.
On yourself.
It's you.
Or it's a modify it, or it might be a case of that you just draw it back a bit. As always, we're going to tell you what we believe to be the problem or the issue, and then we're going to give you alternatives that you might be able to look at accommodating for you and your family. What I would love you to do when we share these images is, please, they are horrific, and even I was appalled. What I would love you to do is share it on your timeline. So if you're a teacher, it might be a great thing that you can share in assembly or in a classroom environment with your pupils. I just want everybody to be aware of what's in these products. What I'm going to go with you and just give you some basic facts, and then we're going to share the stats. What I want you to understand is for every teaspoon of sugar equates to 4 grams. So if you look on a particular product and it's got 8 grams of sugar, you know that's got 2 teaspoons. Jacqueline, can you share with us what is, from the NHS guidelines, what is a daily allowance?
So first of all, it's important to point out that the government don't set any guidelines for sugar. So if you look on the back of any packets and you look at the RDA, sometimes it will say how much in that packet of the RDA there is, the recommended daily allowance. There won't be anything for sugar because the government don't set any legislation in regards to recommended daily allowances for sugar. So make of that what you will. I have my opinions on it. The NHS do though. So NHS guidelines, which you probably have to do quite a lot of digging on the internet to find these out, but NHS guidelines say 24 grams of sugar a day for children. So
6 teaspoons.
That's 6 teaspoons. Or adults 30 grams. And I mean, the children do come in categories, kind of, babies, toddlers, but just generically 24 grams for children and 30 grams for adults.
Okay, so just remember that stat when we're sharing some of the horrific images. I don't know if you can see, I'm going to get the camera a little bit closer, but...
Who's asking questions?
No, they just said, Penny just said no government guidelines, no. WTF. I'm going to show you a little bit closer. All you can see is a white halo. I'm going to share the exact amount of sugar that's in there. That's absolutely appalling. One other stat can you give us, Jackie? What does the liver hold?
Yeah,
which is really important.
So this is really key. So when I do the workshops on sugar, the fact that I really kind of drum into people is that the liver only holds between 60 and 90 grams of sugar. The reason there's a range there is obviously it depends on the size of your liver from child all the way to adult. So the liver only holds 60 to 90 grams and it can only process that amount. And
so that is 15 to 22, 23 teaspoons of sugar.
So after that, after the 60 to 90 grams it has filled the liver, it will then start to distribute around the body, but particularly the midsection is where it's going to distribute, which is where visceral fat gets stored, which is where all your internal organs are, which is one of the most dangerous places for any weight to be held. It gives you a greater risk of diabetes and all other kinds of heart conditions, because if you're holding weight around this area, then you are really putting pressure on your internal organs.
Okay, so we're going to get to the chase, because I know that we tend to waffle on lots of things, and I'm going to share some of these facts with you. One thing that we do get clients to do when they work with us, we tell them to become label savvy. So we teach them what to look for. So bearing in mind I've given you those facts, this minuscule Cadbury's cream egg, this has been seen, so some of you may have seen it, some of you may not. Please engage when I'm showing you these images and let me know how many you think. I'm going to give you this one. It's 6.5 teaspoons. Yes, 26 grams. Bearing in mind, Jacqueline just said that a child's daily allowance should be 4 to 6. So they've done that with that one bite of an egg. Mini eggs. Okay? So the best way to look at a label, on the back of here, it says 90 grams. That'll say it in this corner here. So therefore, they give you the value of 25 or 100. So per 100, 72 grams is carbohydrate, so that's 69 grams are sugar. So 69 divided by 0.9, that gives you that. That gives you your packet. So that works out at an astonishing 62 grams, which is 16 teaspoons of sugar in that. There is about 32 eggs in that. 32 eggs equates to 16 teaspoons.
So 62 grams, that's the max, that's what your liver can hold. Remember we said 60 to 90 grams, and it's double an adult's recommended daily allowance. It's actually over double. Now I have been guilty over Easter of demolishing one of those bags. Believe
you me, especially when Jacqueline and I were before the children and even recently, we'd demolished 2 or 3 of those. If you put a whole bar of a kilogram of dairy milk, and any other brands for that argument, yeah, I would easily polish that off. This is a Smarties egg, a tiny Smarties egg. It's 122 grams, that one shell. It's got 75.2 grams of sugar, which is nearly 19 teaspoons. Now, I would see a lot of people, and us, we've done it in the past, especially with Angelica, would have given it to them as a treat. 19 teaspoons for a 1 or 2-year-old. Horrific. Okay, next up, we have a Cadbury's cream egg shell and the Cadbury's cream air. Oh, by the way,
are you going to move the camera closer?
I will in a second. I'm going to bring the camera closer in a second. Please, if anyone knows anyone senior at Cadbury's, Nestle, whoever, let's collaborate, let's have a chat, because we need to change these ingredients in here. Because no word of a lie, this isn't controversial, this is what we believe. We are killing our kids by giving them this, I'm not going to swear because I want people to share it, this particular products. So this has 75.2 grams of sugar, which is 20.7 teaspoons of sugar. Okay, this bad boy is a Diane egg. Granted, it's a little bit larger, and that's a bar in there as well.
How many grams in the bar?
There are, that gram is 120 grams in total. Okay, so humour me. There's loads of you joining me. How many teaspoons of sugar in this egg and that bar there? And believe you me, I could easily polish that off. Come on, there's 30 of you plus that are joined. I need a figure. Come on, give me a figure. Bear in mind, I've shared all that with you. We have some shy people on Facebook. Come on, guys. I nearly knocked it over numerous times today. I'm going to show with you closer how many that is. Okay, the whole lot is 320 grams of sugar, which is 80 teaspoons. 80. And by the way, it's over 3,000 calories as well. So 80 teaspoons in that. Max, you kindly agreed, you put 35. So 35 teaspoons. So almost 2.5 what you said there. Horrendous. I'm going to bring the camera a little bit closer, twist it round so you've got an image there that we can share. Okay, so just going through this again, guys. You've got the Cadbury's cream egg that's gone missing, but oh, there it is, big pun. Cadbury's cream egg, 6.5 teaspoons. The tiny bit of mini eggs in there, that's got 15.5 teaspoons. The Smarties egg has got nearly 19. The Cadbury's cream egg and shell has over 20, nearly 21. And this ridiculous thing here is 80 teaspoons in that shell and in that bar. So 80.
320 grams.
320 grams.
10 times your recommended daily allowance.
Okay, let me just put you back in here, guys. Okay, so I hope that you found that useful. A couple of things to think about. Even now in mainstream media, even cancer research has started to say, not in writing, they won't put it in writing, but they've even started to say, if you've listened to an advert, there's an advert going around saying, It begins with an O, it ends in a Y. It's the second greatest cause of cancer. It's obesity. These are the things that's going on at the moment. One of the stats that Jacqueline and I regularly share when we go into schools to educate children and do workshops. 1 in 3 children leave school either overweight or obese. The likelihood is that if they are that as children, they'll become that as adults. Type 2 diabetes sets in and many other chronic illnesses. Now, we have given you the information, and I've got a couple of alternatives that you can look to give as to modify, to rein that in. By no means are we saying you shouldn't give chocolate at Easter. We're not saying that, far from it. But you can look at doing some alternatives. Speaking perfectly candidly, I've been banging on to my mum and dad, my nan, my sister, my aunt about the amount of sugar that's in these particular products. And slowly but surely over the last 3 or 4 years, they've started to wake up a little bit. Not as much as I would like, but it's an ongoing process. This is the first year that they are not buying the girls any Easter eggs. They've bought them balloons, they've bought them notebooks. We will buy them a token something that I'll share with you a couple of different alternatives. Now, some people might think, I'll get off your high horse and not even be bothered about changing. That's your map of the world, that's absolutely fine. But from the amount of videos that we've done recently, there's been lots of people that have engaged, that have sent private messages, that are now looking to read labels. And that's all that delights me, because we've made a change for that particular person and that particular family. So let me give you a couple of alternatives. I spoke to a couple of companies and they've given me a couple of eggs, because I spent £30 in Tesco's buying all that, and I had to buy another blooming packet of sugar. So anyone that wants this stuff, give me a shout. You're more than welcome to take it, because I'm not going to be eating it.
I doubt they will after this.
No, hopefully not. Okay, so this is a Moo free. So this is soya free, dairy free. It's a vegan. It is gluten free and wheat free. So this is has 53 grams of sugar and only 13 teaspoons. Granted, it's a smaller egg, but still per the 100 grams, it's much smaller. So that is a better alternative. Okay, Holland and Barrett do a no added sugar version. This is an 85 gram egg. This only has 1.95 grams of sugar, which is less than half a teaspoon. So that's a particular alternative to look at.
But that one does have some other sweeteners in. They're not artificial sweeteners, they're plant-based
polyols.
They're polyols, so just be careful of that if you're looking at diabetics.
This is the green and blacks. Now, I have come quite accustomed to changing it to green and blacks. This is only a 70%, you can get an 85%. Now, roughly the calories are about the same. We don't really look into the calorie aspect of things most of the time, but looking at the calories, they're roughly about the same. But this is 47 grams, that's less than 12 teaspoons. And when you compare it like for like on this one, this is actually bigger and it's half the amount of sugar. So there are alternatives. You know, we blog about lots of times about the different alternatives in what we do with kind of cakes and cookies and things along those lines. But hopefully this has given you an insight to the amount of sugar that's in these products. You might be thinking, oh, instead of buying an egg, I'm just going to give my children a packet of mini eggs, and they might even have a couple. Now you're aware of this, and I urge you guys. It's not only our local community. You know, we've been getting like 5,000-6,000 views on some of our videos. I want this to go as wide as possible, because I think every person needs to understand what's in these products and how much sugar is in there. Would you just like to explain, just so people understand, the bliss point? We've said it numerous times beforehand, we've covered it in our book, but I just want people to be aware.
Okay, so some of these companies here are really, they are on the top of the list that spend a lot of money researching something called the bliss point. And the bliss point is the point in the brain that says, oh my God, I need more. And the way that these companies research it is that they spend lots and lots of money looking at the correct balance of fat, sugar and salt in a product that will give you that particular reaction in the brain. It happens in the hypothalamus part of the brain, to get geeky, and that you are literally being played like a pawn by these food industry giants to make sure that you buy the product, you love the product, and you crave the product, and therefore you buy more of the product. They are putting profit before health, as you can see, because these are way above and beyond the recommended daily allowance, putting you and your children at risk from some huge medical conditions. Now, we're not giving this information to scare you, we're giving you this information to empower you, and you can take it away and you can do whatever you want with it. If you never ever watch this video again and you're not interested in the information and you're quite happy to carry on using these products, that is absolutely fine with us, but we need to be able to share it so that other people that do want to make changes can do.
And this was us once, so we're not saying that this has always been us. You know, especially when we were before children, we would well overindulge. And so much so that it gave me a dairy intolerance because the amount of whey protein that I was having when I was finishing football, and the amount of chocolate I was consuming, because I'd come out of a club with my friends and quite easily polish off 3 chocolate bars before I got home. So this is not us saying that we've never done this, we have, but we, as we said in previous videos, we like to share with you what we've learned from clients and the mistakes that we've made throughout, so you don't have to make them, or you can stop making them, or you can make modifications. What I'll do to make it easy for you guys as well, I'm going to shoot a very short video that just takes all of those sugars in there, and I'll take pictures. Please share this with as many people, share this on your timelines, because everyone needs to know this. If they want to take it on board and make changes, then great, and please let me know. If you don't, then you've wasted 10 minutes listening to us on this video. But I hope that's made an impact. Even when I went into these shops, I was absolutely appalled, especially in that one. Absolutely appalled. And I was swearing under my breath, and there was a lady in there that was asking me all these kind of questions. Ironically, she was on Slimming World. If you watch one of our videos from Slimming World, that's completely another story. But we got engaging. It must have resonated with her because she took a picture of the van and said, I'll contact you thereafter. So guys, please share it. I think as many people need to see this as possible. Any questions that you've got, ping them in the comments box, and we'll get back.
Just to point out one thing, because I'm sure this will come up in comments, people will say, well, you wouldn't eat that in one sitting. It's 10 times your recommended daily allowance. You wouldn't eat that in one sitting. Cadbury's are spending millions of pounds to make sure that you do eat that in one sitting. That's what the Bliss Point research is about. They want you to crave more, have more, buy more. That it's all about the profit. So lots of people would eat that in one sitting, and even if you didn't and you ate just 1/10 of it, that's your recommended daily allowance done. And
bless her, my mum said, oh James, be careful when you're saying Cadbury's and this, that and the other, you're going to get in trouble. I'm not, mum.
We're not saying anything that's not true.
Well, there's no defamation of character, there's nothing incorrect about that. I have just given you facts that you guys may not have been aware of or may not have looked at. I've just given you the evidence that's printed on there that they don't often share, because they try to be a little bit sly and say 25 grams. Think, oh, that's not so bad, but you don't realise what that equates to. So I hope that's been helpful. Please share it, guys, and we want to get this message out to as many people as possible. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Take care.